What's up, Chris?
How you guys doing, man?
He's not here. He probably got me fired.
I'm not going to get you fired yet, man.
Go ahead, fire away, guys. Hey, Chris, what was it like out there, especially just getting as much work as you did this weekend?
It was great. It was a great opportunity. Second year in a row, getting to do and be a part of Minicamp. And so sort of being the guy that gets to sort of, lead the charge with the offense and, really the whole camp is something that I don't take for granted. Good to get out there with the young guys, and for myself, it's good to test my knowledge of what I've learned over the past couple of years and getting guys adjusted, set, controlling that tempo in and out of the huddle. So it was a great weekend.
From your perspective, how's Xavier Worthy as a pass catch?
I mean, we drafted him the first round for a reason. He's a dog. I think you guys saw it this weekend. People were dogging him for the first day, and that's just welcome to the league. But Xavier's going to do really well in this offense. I think we're all really excited about him. Saw what he could do this weekend in terms of spinning guys at the top of routes and how explosive he is. Stretching the field, and also his yak ability. After the catch. So.
You found him yesterday after that deep throw. Can you just kind of walk us through that one?
It was I was talking to Nags, and I was really eager to get that with him, and he spun the guy like a top, and he was already 50 yards downfield, and this is right after me getting out of a play fake, and so I sort of saw him and was like, oh, let me just get him the ball, and he ended up making a great catch for me too, and so that's going to be something that I think he does really well in this offense.
Do you have to adjust a little bit with a guy when you're playing with a guy with that kind of speed?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you may just have to get the ball out, a step or two earlier. This guy runs 4.21, so definitely got to adjust with that.
What about Wiley? What'd you see when tight end?
Oh, Wiley was great. I think he's 6'6", big body, runs really well, for his size, and that was really good to see. And it was good to see him make those big catches over the middle, hit him on a couple deep crosses. Saw him get physical, bumping guys off, breaking out of routes, and being a big target. That's something that Trav's done really well in his time here. Noah Gray does really well, and so it'll be good to add him into that mix.
Chris, just for you, it's third year in the system, right?
Yep.
So just at this point, just how do you take coming to another mini camp, another training camp, things like that?
I take it as another opportunity to get better. It's something it's not just something they ask me, and they do ask me, but it's something that I want to do. It's something that I feel like, it just gives me an opportunity to get better. Especially in my role as a third guy, the reps are slim. So to come out here, no matter who's out here, I could take all you guys out there and, try to figure out the offense with you guys. And, it's just another opportunity. It's good for me to not only be able to run the offense and be able to spearhead everything, but also be a teacher. One of my good friends from back home, from Tampa, he was actually in the camp and he stayed with me the past 3 days. So being able to go over the playbook and install with him and sort of teach him was something that was neat for myself to, really hone in and be like, all right, you really know it, third year in the system, and so now it's just going out there and producing when I get my opportunities.
I know who is that? I know it's really early, but what's Luis like as a teammate, and how cool is it to sort of see a guy, try a new sport for the first time?
Luis is great. I told my mom when I left Texas, he came out in Texas, we had an Airbnb and he stayed. We lived together for 2 weeks, and I told my mom I learned more about Luis in those 2 weeks than I probably know about my own brother. Me and my brother are super close. He's great. I think he has a really good personality. I think he's going to fit really well into the culture here. He's been a professional athlete for since he's 16. So he knows he has that business-like mentality. But also knows, off the field, have a little fun, be loose, and fit in with the guys. So I think it's going to be a great addition. I was sort of picking at him a little bit yesterday, threw a halfback screen to him, and you just see Lewis running down the field like his little rugby run. And so, I think he's going to be great.
Who was it that's staying with it that you were talking about?
Zach Mathis from North Dakota State.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to ask about him. He's
Yeah.
Hey, we're out there.
Yes, yeah, 6'7". He's definitely a long kid. It's weird. I've literally known him since I was in diapers. I was really good friends, still am really good friends with his older brother, Jacob Mathis. So when I saw his name was on the list, he sort of hit me up before he got up here and was like, hey, I want to do anything I can to, try to make this team. And so, of course, Tampa guys, we stick together. So.
Chris, I know you haven't interacted a ton with the team from last year, but probably a little bit in the facility so far. Have you noticed like a concerted effort to turn the page to this year already?
Yeah, last year. I think we're sort of done with that, with last year and winning. I think we're sort of done with that after the parade. We understand coming into this new year, we had a big target on our backs last year after winning. And then going back to back now, I mean, that target's as big as ever. So I think everyone is, singularly focused on, doing what we can now. And, Super Bowls aren't won, the day of the game. They're won now by preparing and, mentally and physically to get ready, heading into training camp and then into the season.
How much do you embrace that role of being kind of the first guy on this roster to throw with these new draft picks and kind of introduce them to this offense?
It's good because, I mean, Pat's called me after every single day, and he's like, hey, how are the guys doing? What routes are they good at? Just things of that nature, just sort of asking about the guys. Even just in the cafeteria, how are they as dudes, good dudes? That's something that I think Coach Reed and all the coaches, we take pride in here. Everyone's a good dude in the building. So, it's good to actually be the first one to sort of call Pat and be like, hey, man, Xavier Worthy's as fast as he is. So.
I just noticed you were at the WWE thing last week.
I was.
Sitting on the end there. What was that like, being a part of that?
So I've never really been a WWE fan myself. That was my first time, and Pat was just sort of like trying to come out. So I went out there, and it was definitely entertaining. Like, I completely understand why people find it entertaining, because that was a pretty cool experience to be right there. And you have a 6'10", 385-pound dude screaming in Pat's face and that whole production, and then we see him behind the camera, and he's like the nicest dude ever, like shaking our hands, smiling. I was like, all right, that was a little weird, but I think they do a really good job with the production.
Were those real rings that Pat gave him or not? Can you give it still secret?
I don't know. I mean, you gotta ask Pat on that one.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.